Alrighty, guys. Here we are with Aqua Season the 4th. Yeah, we did it. I'm dancing. No. Dancing is forbidden. For real, though, Aqua Season 4, I don't have a lot to say other than, cool that we made it to Season 4 and all that. I think I've done okay with Aqua Teen in terms of, pacing when I recover the show. And yeah, time for season 4. Only 13 episodes this time, so I'm just going to jump straight to this one. 1. Dirtfoot. Master Shake pretends to be trapped in a well to pick up tricks. Supposed to say chicks, but, I'm a freaking idiot. But he gets Dirtfoot as his roommate. Dirtfoot is pretty much just this dude who's, meant to be in the, he pretty much has lived in the well his entire life. He's almost kind of like a Bigfoot sort of thing. Anyway, it's a 4 out of 5. Shake already proving himself to be just his casual jerk self. Just totally being fine, just to, just tricking people into thinking that he's trapped. Actually reminds me a lot of the Simpsons episode of Radio Bart, and that's both kind of about the usual trickster character pranking someone by being in a well. Well, I'd probably say Radio Bart is the better episode between the two. This is still a good one in and of its own. Dirtfoot at first didn't seem like that good of a character. Why name the episode after him? But then we find out just how much of a. But then when it turns into everyone Shake thinking he's gay, it really starts to pick up. Not anything crazy good as a premiere, but I liked it. I thought it was funny. And in the end, the moral of the story is that Master Shake might just be gay. We have to accept that as a community, guys. 2. Boost Mobile. Shake promotes Boost Mobile. Yeah, this one's an instant 5 out of 5. Where you at, dog? Yo, dog, where you at? It's so good. Come on. That's such a great. Where you at, dog? I think, if I remember correctly, I don't even think Boost Mobile paid them for a sponsorship or anything. I think the writers genuinely just found the idea of them doing an episode promoting Boost Mobile funny. With the joke being that Shake's the boss. I forgot what the dude's name even was, but we never see him. We just hear him on the phone, and yeah, clearly Shake is doing this against his will, which is all the funnier. That we just got that Shake apparently just got into this business. I mean, by the end, Axe Body Spray wanted to be promoted by Shake as well. So I know who Shake's promoting it to. I'm not sure if they suddenly are just aware that there's people watching them, but. Anyway, it's a really funny episode. Seeing Frylock and Miwa try to get rid of the Boost mobile phone. It's like, dog, where you at? I'm freaking dead, dog. That's where I'm at. Just great stuff. Top tier episode. 3. Okay, this one's gonna be a freaking mouthful. Aqua Teen Hunger Force star-studded Christmas spectacular with Ryan Jeremy. I'm not sure I pronounced that dude's name right, but either way, they aren't even in the episode, I'm pretty sure, so who cares? We see deleted scenes from the upcoming movie. Okay, so before I actually talk about the episode, a fun fact, between me watching season 3 and season 4, I actually have now seen the Aqua Teen movie, the first one, not Plantasm. Maybe I'll see that one after sometime between seasons 4 and 5, or who knows. But yeah, funny thing is, I've actually now seen. It's a good thing I've seen that movie before watching this episode. But while it is a 4 out of 5, I will admit I'm kind of disappointed by this one. Look, it's a low 4. I do genuinely wish they played around with the idea of if it being deleted scenes more, because essentially it almost kind of just feels like a random episode idea. But they decided it would just. But I guess they thought it would be funnier since they already were making a movie anyway, which I guess shows how popular the show was at this point. And even by season 4, they were already making the movie. But yeah, so instead of so I decided just to use that as a framing device for this random episode idea they came up with. And don't get me wrong, the scenes are kind of funny at first. The Moonanites, stealing Carl's hypno wheels. that he was going to use to get women, but when it turns into them just torturing Carl, it gets less funny. It is funny, though, seeing Shake not get hypnotized because he doesn't even have a brain because Shake's so stupid. But yeah, it's a funny episode, but I like it, but I do wish they did more with the concept. Maybe, like, I know Aqua Teen Hunger Force is already a show where they can do whatever they want, but I wish, like, we just saw a bunch of random funny deleted scenes, or hell, maybe make the episode after the movie, so that way you can just, like, use more from the actual movie. Man, still a good episode nonetheless, though. Kind of weird that this is a random 20-minute episode, though, when regular episodes are just 11 minutes. Like, it wasn't so great. We needed the extra 10 minutes, guys. 4, Dickisode. Carl gets a fortune that says his thingy is getting ripped off. Yeah, this one's a 4 out of 5. I really like this one. I don't even have a ton to say about this episode other than it's really funny. Carl becomes a woman to avoid the whole situation, but Frolic cut it off anyway. So what the hell was the point? It's hilarious. And of course, Mr. Wongburger is just being a huge, is just funny. This is the kind of episode I could see someone either really loving or really hating. And well, I don't think it's quite 5 out of 5 worthy. I am definitely more positive on this episode. I think what makes it funny is that, like, yeah, if you remove all the dick stuff, it's literally just a story about a dude who's gonna get his wiener chopped off. You don't want chopped up wiener. Chopped up wiener bad, twin. So yeah, really good episode. Just pretty funny throughout. 5, Hand Banana. The Aqua Teens make a dog that gets too comfortable with Carl. AKA, this is the tonight you. Dun, dun. Bimmy, when I first met you, were you all a Hand Banana? Were you all like, oh, Z-Man, tonight you? No. Hand Banana, pretty much, like, my favorite seen this on YouTube, but, like, he did some really freaking bad stuff to Carl, man. Why would everyone do that? Someone as ugly as you, Z-Man. It kind of make me wish I was getting used by you now, Benny. Am I that ugly? Yes, you are. Oh, okay, then. Anyway, I do love this episode. 5 out of 5. It's weird. I usually don't find this kind of humor that funny. A character sexually abusing another character isn't, like, that's usually not funny to me, but I can't fully explain why this one works so damn well for me. Well, first of all, anytime Hand Banana speaks, I at the very least smile, if not already laughing, because come on. Tonight, you. All I know is a bark and a wolf and a rape. Like, that's funny, Come on. Even if you're like me and are kind of to that type of humor, usually, I think the fact that it's a dog that looks like Master Shake's hand, and he's the one doing Carl, a guy who isn't even that likable, and pretty much uses women on, like, a daily basis, or at least, clearly doesn't care about women. Like, again, it's funny to me. Again, though, this is already one of the most loved episodes of the whole show, though, so I don't really feel like I need to dive much into this one beyond just it's funny. A lot of really great jokes, and a shame Spaghetti let us down. You were going to be the chosen one, Spaghetti, and what happened to you? Well, you messed it all up. 6, Party All the Time. Frylock deals with cancer. Okay, so this might not seem like it at first, but I think this is another 5 out of 5 episode. This one reminds me a lot of the from season 2. I don't know. Both episodes are about Frylock dealing with something, like, serious. And, well, I'm pretty sure I gave that one a 4. Like, I remember liking that episode. I think this is honestly just the better version of that already existing episode. I think what makes it really good is that this time around it's something serious. I think what makes this one work is that, like, The show doesn't act like it's the serious drama just for this episode. It's still, especially at the beginning, it feels like you're just watching a regular Aqua Teen episode. Crazy random nonsense. A Shake thinking he can use a guitar and getting tricked by Meatwad and getting a beehive and all that. I think this episode shows that deep down the Aqua Teens do care about each other. Even Shake, who is pretty much just up there with Eric Cartman and Roger Smith as one of the most evil cartoon characters ever made. At least one of the most evil cartoon characters that's like a main character. He still kind of cares for Frylock and Meatwad at the end. Maybe not Meatwad, but he at least somewhat cares about Frylock at the end of the day, and that's very surprising, but honestly not unwelcome. And again, even once he has cancer, they do stuff like having a whole party that and the sign saying "Welcome, hope you get better, asshole" or something like that. Clearly showing that once again, the show's not acting all like, "Oh, we really love you, Frylock." When Frylock stays at Carl's house, Carl doesn't want him getting his cancer all over his place. Carl's still Carl. The show is still the show we all know and love. They just surprisingly deal with the topic of cancer very well. And I kind of like they leave it ambiguous at the end whether or not Frylock could be cancer. I mean, I know this is the kind of show where characters can die and come back the next episode, so it's like, dude, why do you care so much? But I don't know. There's something kind of uplifting about that. I love this one a lot. I can totally get if someone isn't as into this one, thinking it's like too serious for an Aqua Teen episode, but I think they hit the perfect balance with this one. Definitely check it out. 7. Global grilling. Shake uses a grill that makes the world burn. Sing it with me now. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world was turning. Don't ask me why I think of that song or reading the plot description. That's just what comes to mind. Either way, it's a 3 out of 5. Honestly, I'm shocked I'm even giving it a 3. I thought for sure before rewatching this would be like a 2, but looking back on it, there's enough good jokes in it to make it a 3, but still, I'm not a huge fan of this one. Look, I'm the type of dude who can find like farts and stuff like that funny if handled well, but it's not. I mean, I guess I believe anything could be made funny if you're like clever enough, but it's not. It's like on the base of it, it's not really that funny of a concept, and they don't really do anything like to be that. They just aren't that funny with it. I don't know. The jokes of Shake, like in his griller, are kind of all right. He kind of reminds me of how he was in the Boost Mobile episode. Once again, just promoting something, but I don't know. It wasn't that funny. It's difficult to say, but this one didn't really work for me. This is the type of episode I like more for random bits and like random lines, more than the actual meat of the bone being something I actually enjoyed. Mid tier. 8. Grim Reaper gutters. The Aqua Teens reminisce on past episodes because the Grim Reaper wants to sell gutters. This one's a 4 out of 5, and honestly, for like the first few minutes, I thought I would hate this episode. Because, come on, it's a clip show episode. I don't absolutely despise clip show episodes or anything, but I do agree that the vast majority of them aren't usually good. I mean, especially in the age of streaming, I think they've aged horribly. Like, if you're going to just watch random clips, just watch like a best of video on YouTube or something. We're not going to go watch the show itself to just see a best of, especially since the clips are usually random. But as it went on, this one really did grow on me when it became less of a clip show and more of just like a regular ass episode. The reason why the Aqua Teens are all inside is funny. I love how the Grim Reaper. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean Dan from Dan's Gutters. I love how he talks, and I love how casual he is before just killing Carl because he won't buy gutters. And it also stars Tara Patricks, the porn star. Is she real? I don't even want to know. but she is quite good at eating a corn dog. I'll give her that. So yeah, I like this episode. It starts off slow, but definitely does improve as it goes along. 9. Muna Jawana. The Mooninites pretend to make crack for Sheikh Meatwad. 3 out of 5. Just a weaker version of Mooninites' final mooning from last season. That one was also the Mooninites tricking Sheikh and Meatwad and later Carl into doing something dumb. But that one just did it way funnier. This one's just like a less funny version of that. I like the Mooninites and everything, but this is unfortunately their weakest episode, at least so far. I mean, I'm not sure what seasons 5 through 12 really hold for them, but as of now, yeah, this is their weakest one. Just mid-tier. Almost kind of feels like they knew they had to make a Moon Knights episode because of like fan favorites, but didn't really have many ideas, so they just kind of repeated what they did last season. 10. Bart Oates. Carl gets Bart Oates as his guardian angel. This one's a 4 out of 5. As someone who couldn't give less of an F about like sports and all that, I'm surprised by how much I like this episode. I think it's just because Carl interacting with Bart Oates is just funny. A character like Bart really does work as just a ground. He really does kind of ground things. Having Carl just be his usual douche self against like a, just this guy trying to help him, being a guardian angel and all that. It's just funny. I will admit, though, the ending to this one is kind of weird and not even in the usual funny way the show is. I guess deep down he was just a robot made to like kill this one actress. And I guess he was also working with Sheikh and Sheikh killed Carl. It's kind of funny, but I also don't fully get it, which unfortunately hurts it a little bit, but still a very good episode. Another one that starts off a little slow, but once Bart Oates is actually introduced, it really does pick up. Now I just want the New York Nats jersey. I'm like Farlock. I don't even like sports, but I still want that Nats jersey. Come on now. 11. Antenna. Aliens put a tower over Carl's house that messes with the Aqua Teen's TV. Don't have many thoughts beyond just a 4 out of 5. Kinda shocked they're still making new alien characters with the Mooninites and the Plutonians. Like, we already have 2 major alien characters on the show. Why are we also just making these dudes? I still like the episodes. It's not a huge problem. I'm just kind of confused as to why. Once you look past that, though, it's still funny. In terms of specifics, I do like the show that Carl watches, just 2 aliens moving boxes. It's mildly funny. I also like how it randomly starts with like Sheikh doing this comedy gig. This is the most random kind of show to do this type of format of, I guess you're wondering how I got into this crazy situation. But you know what? Aqua Teen's the most random show for anything, so it actually surprisingly fits. Good episode, not anything like top tier, but I still enjoy it. Also, George Lowe, voice of Space Ghost, is in this episode. If you don't know what Space Ghost is, then okay, Gen Zer. 12. Ezekiel. Sheikh somehow gets a son. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. 5 out of 5. And this is my favorite episode, not just of the season, but of the whole show so far. I absolutely adore this one. I think it's because this episode is just everything I come for an Aqua Teen episode 4. That's right, I come for Aqua Teen. Don't take that out of context now. What makes it funny is that, well, first of all, Sheikh is just being best character once again, and just being a huge asshole the whole episode, trying to kill Ezekiel, and also just telling him he's a failure. Like, this episode is just proof of why Sheikh can never have a son, or just a child, or any type of, like, a good relationship with anyone, because Sheikh genuinely doesn't know how to be, like, a good person. Hell, he even tries to KYS after Ezekiel proves to be that much of a failure. That's how bad it gets. Also, I just enjoy Ezekiel as a character. I can see him being a little annoying to people, but I found him funny. Again, especially you just feel bad for the dude after Shake just bullies him the whole episode, but like it's the funny kind of you feel bad. At least to me, it is. Especially the scene at the basketball court. That might be my favorite scene of the entire show. Just everything about it, from Shake, hurting Frolic, and then Frolic doing the same thing to him, and he's like, "But personal foul! This is a friendly game, asshole!" And then Meatwad not blocking Ezekiel, but blocking like his imaginary friend, and then Ezekiel laying on the floor, being like, "I want to play race cars." And then Ezekiel almost makes the dunk, but then just misses, and Shake bullies him, like the crap out of him for it. Randomly kicks the basketball, like, what are you doing anymore? And then goes to Ezekiel being like, why do you disappoint me? Second by second, you waste my time. The only reason God hasn't gotten rid of you is because you amuse him somehow. Well, I'm sorry that I just quoted the scene line for line pretty much, but it was all so funny to me. I love it. I love this whole episode. Again, best of the whole show. And honestly, I could totally see it remaining that way. This is a very hard one to top for me. Pretty every scene in this one makes me laugh so much. 13, the final episode, Carl Wash. Meatwad works at a car wash and Carl goes to it. Unfortunately, after that top tier episode, we get a 2 out of 5. So we end on the lowest note, unfortunately. This one's weird, especially when you compare it to the other 2 out of 5 so far. Love Mummy and the Cubing. I'm sorry. Because both of those episodes had the same problem where the one-off character in them were just super annoying. The brain guys don't annoy me. This just feels like it feels like someone who doesn't like Aqua Teen just assumes every episode of the show is like, if that makes any sense. Meatwad working at a job isn't a horrible idea. It's actually a very good one, but the execution is just, it's just brain people trying to like get brains. It's not that funny, honestly. It feels like random, but it's not the usual random equals funny that the show's usually able to do very well. It's hard to explain. It just didn't really tickle my funny bone that much. Then again, coming off of Ezekiel, I guess almost any episode looks worse by comparison, but still, mediocre episode. Really didn't find it funny. Probably the most bored I felt watching an episode so far, unfortunately. Which I feel bad saying, but I mean, it's the truth, though. Okay, and that's the season. Obviously, Carl Wash, 2 out of 5, worst of the season, one of the worst of the show. But then for the threes, okay, get ready for the 2 out of 5s, guys. Get ready for this high amount of them. Moon and Joanna and Global Grilling. Now that that long list is out of the way, we can get to the rest of the list, the 4s and 5s, which is like the top 10 of a 13-episode season. Fuck. Okay. Number 10 is Aqua Teen Hunger Force Star-Studded Christmas Spectacular with Ryan Jeremy. Grim Reaper Gutters, Dirtfoot, Antenna, Bart Oates, and Dickasode. Dickasode just barely managing to make it to the top 5, with the top 4 being the 5 out of 5s. We have Boost Mobile, Party All the Time, Hand Banana, and easily Ezekiel is my personal favorite of the entire show so far, as already mentioned. Thoughts on the season as a whole? Obviously, still a very good season of not just the show, but of television in general. I will say, season 3 to me is just way better. I'd still say season 3 is still the best season of the show. Again, though, that's a very hard season to top, so I don't fully blame it, though. The real question is whether or not it beats season 2. I almost want to say I almost prefer season 2, but then again, I feel like season 4 is more polished. Season 2 by like a 1 has more 5 out of 5. So by the pure thing of it just being 24 episodes compared to this season's 13, it means it also has more 3s, and they both have a 2 out of 5. So I'll just barely give the win to season 4 purely because I just think its top tiers are just like, but they're very equal to me. It is around season 2 level of still being very good, though. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.